All right, greetings everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to another video here. I'm up here in Sailor Park, which is up in Copley in Lehigh County, and if you just saw one of my other videos, I just got done doing a video on some of the cement kilns that are up here and the history on them. But another neat part about up here, and if you can see it, is that thing in back of me there. It's the Ironton Railroad, and basically the old railroad that used to run through the park up here was converted into a rail trail. So this video we're going to explore the rail trail and see what kind of interesting things we can find along the way. Like I said, there were other YouTubers that were here recently and stuff. JP Videos was here, RJ was RJ58 Productions or RJ Productions, whatever. They were here recently and did videos and stuff, so I had to come and check this out for myself and film it. So let's get started and take a trip down the rail trail. All right, so a little bit of history here of the Ironton Railroad. It was built back in the 1800s, and basically it was used to take iron ore out of the quarries or the mines up here in the area. And then it was later then used to take cement from out here, or from this area, which was Portland cement that was made in this area. And then the rail line was pretty much abandoned itself, or was abandoned, I should say, and the county turned this into a park and a rail trail. Some of the pieces of the car were repurposed for things along the trail here. This one, part of it was turned into a park bench, which is pretty cool. All right, here's another sign for the Ironton Rail Trail with a little bit of information on it and stuff. There's another cool thing behind me here, which I'll turn around here and show you. There's a lot of traffic out here today with people on bikes, four-wheelers going down trails and stuff, but here is another piece that they repurposed. One of the wheels for the old railroad car. And the actual car itself sat on this piece right here. Car just went sat in that little pin or whatever, went down through that hole, and that's what kept the car on the wheels here and stuff like that. And you can see one of the old where the brakes are, one of the old brake pads. And then on this side here, I don't believe these open up anymore, but I believe that's where you opened them up and greased the wheel bearings for the wheels and stuff like that. I'll give you a shot here. I'll try doing where I'll stand next to it. I'll give the camera to my friend that's with me today here, who's my second set of eyes. I'll give the camera to him and I'll stand next to these, and you can get a perspective as to how tall they are. Shouldn't say how tall, but just how big they are. All right, while I was doing that last shot of me standing next to the wheels and stuff like that, I come back to grab the camera, and of course I don't have it ready, and I actually got some critters. There were like 3 deer which ran right across up there where we came from and stuff, and with all the traffic that's going on in the park today and everything, they just came from out of nowhere and crossed. But of course I didn't have the camera ready for it. All right, also up here with the rail trail here and stuff like that, over here on this side you can see remnants of, I guess, what was the old Delaware and Lackawanna, or the D&L, or the Lehigh line, or without doing more research on it, I'm not quite sure, but this is where the 4-wheelers were running up and down, and you can see the telegraph poles here and stuff like that. So there's a little information board over here that explains everything, and I'll take a still shot of this and include it in the video, or you can pause the video here if you want to read it and stuff. But it's basically explaining the rails to trails. And this one here is the whole corridor along the Lehigh River and stuff. So many interesting areas up here. There's also another canal up here, I believe, that runs along the Delaware River as well. Like I said in my previous videos, if you saw them when I did the Union Canal, there were a bunch of canal systems in Pennsylvania. And again, that one along the Delaware River is another one of them. All right, so I walked down a little bit of the rail trail here, and I came to this general area where I'm at right now, which is pretty neat. They did some construction here. You can see it in the back. I guess they tore out what used to be an iron bridge here at one time and constructed this new bridge. So this whole area here is newly constructed area. And they do have, I was going to walk down to the river here and stuff, but I see a no trespassing sign over here to my one side, so I'm not going to go down that way. But we're going to venture down the rail trail here more, because there's a bridge over there we want to check out. That's another abandoned railroad trestle. All right, one interesting fact that I found here as we're walking, we actually found part of the old railroad in place, and we thought maybe it was a siding for a lumber yard that used to be over here, but we actually found part of the rail that they more or less abandoned in place back there, which ends here because it comes back out and goes on the rail trail down this way. So they actually left this part of the railroad in place, which is over here, and then did the rail trail on this side of it. I walked a little bit further down here. Apparently this bridge down here is a little bit further than what I thought, but I found this thing here that we're gonna explore here a little bit, hopefully. So I'm not quite sure of all the rails that went through here, because that's the official rail trail over there, which is a railroad bed. This is a trail here that was a railroad. I got this one up here that runs that way. I'm not sure which ones, if it was Delaware and Lackawanna went through here, or I know for sure some of it was Lehigh at one time before Conrail took over everything in '76, and now, you know, now pretty much Norfolk Southern owns pretty much everything. But this is all abandoned here, so I don't see any signs that say, you know, keep out or no trespassing. So we're gonna venture around here and try and check this bridge out. All right, so I got up on top here, and this is turning into one of those videos where I keep finding more than what I bargained for and stuff like that, or more interesting things. So I'll show you what's behind me here and everything, but I found this is the bridge, the old railroad bridge there. The track's still intact here, and then going back this way, which we're probably going to explore, is, I think, the old abandoned trestle that goes across the Lehigh River. But coming over here, this could be one of the old quarries or whatever and stuff, because it is a steep drop off from up here. And I'm looking down through the trees there, and I'm seeing another trail down there. So I think this is turning into one of those videos I got more than what I bargained for. So we'll keep exploring the area. All right, so I made it up on top of the bridge here, and I don't recommend doing this if you're afraid of heights, because if you look down, yeah, there's nothing there. It's just the ties here and stuff, but there is some of the rails left in here and stuff. I'm not going to walk across the whole thing because I don't know how sturdy it is all the way across. And there's really, sometimes they usually have a decking on these things that you can walk on one side of it, but I'm not going to venture too far out. I'm actually standing on one of the steel beams of the bridge itself and not on the railroad ties. So you can see it went that way, and then I'll spin you around and you can see in back of me here where it went and stuff. So I'm not sure what rail line this was at one time. If I find out more information, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, or, you know, if you're watching the video and you know information, feel free to leave it in the comments section. All right, after following the trail through the bushes a little bit, we got to the part I want to check out. And again, I'm not going to venture too far out onto this thing because I really don't trust it, but this is one of the old another abandoned train trestle. This is actually going across the Lehigh River. So we'll walk out here a little bit, if I can find a safe place to cross here. And again, if you're afraid of heights, I don't recommend this. Because as you can see, there's a good drop off down there. So yeah, there's another trail that's down here along the river. I don't think it's a rail trail. I think it's just a trail that's down there. But again, I'm not quite sure what rail line this is, but if anybody knows, you can leave it in the comments. So yeah, I'm coming back out to where that other bridge is, but you can definitely see that nature is definitely reclaiming the area here and stuff. It would have been nice if they could have repurposed these bridges into another trail, but I guess too much money or whatever to restore them and stuff, but still pretty neat. It probably would be neater if I would have came up here when there wasn't all the leaves on the trees and stuff like that. Could probably see things a little bit better, but it's still pretty cool this time of the year. All right, so here's a shot of the bridge underneath. We found a path to get down here and going across the river. Still a pretty steep drop right here to get down to the river. Again, probably be a much cooler shot if there wasn't leaves on the trees. All right, exploring the area a little bit more here. We're down at the bottom from where we were at the top. That bridge and stuff's right up on top here, but you can tell this was a quarry or something at one time because you can see how everything is like dug out here on this side. And then walking down here a little bit more, You can see how everything like was dug out here, because where I was standing and showed you from up top is right up there. So, and it almost looks like that where I was standing under the bridge here, that was another, it has the characteristics of a railroad bed and stuff, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not that familiar with the area up here or the history, so if I, like I said, if I find anything out more, it'll be at the bottom of the screen or in the comments, and find out exactly what all this was up here and how many railroads or branches or sidings were actually up in this area. All right, so we came up around from down below there at the river and stuff. You just saw that nice shot of the river. And even if we would have crossed this railroad bridge that we were on earlier, we wouldn't have gotten too far because you can't see it. But right on the other side of here, it goes into somebody's backyard. So that would have been a big roadblock and ended things rather quickly for us. So I'm sort of glad I didn't walk across the bridge. And even up here in Copley Borough, you managed to catch some wildlife.
There's the baby. Here she comes.
The other one should be coming out of those bushes any second. Where is she? I see the head moving a little bit. And I can't zoom in anymore. There she is.
She's afraid to go down there.
So yeah, even next to this bridge with all this traffic and stuff.
And the town is right there.
And you can literally see the town right there. A doe and her fawn. All right, so we left the location we were at over there by Sailor Park over there and stuff, and I found another area over here, and I found something pretty cool here, which I'll show you here in a minute. But we're trying to find an abandoned building here, and I don't know if we're going to be able to find it here or not. So we drove probably about a mile or so to another trailhead over here. I'm not sure if we're in Copley Borough yet or if we're on the outskirts of it, but it's over here on Chestnut Street. But yeah, I got this thing behind me here. How cool is that? An old caboose here. So we're going to explore this caboose a little bit and check things out, and then head down the trail, see if we can find this building. So apparently this was a caboose that they put here and stuff like that. There's some information on it. There's some information in the window here. (1924) it was built. And down at the bottom here is some more information. Obviously you can't go inside it because there's no trespassing signs on it and stuff, but this is pretty cool. They phased out cabooses on the railroad in the late 1970s, early 1980s. They phased them out, and now they have these things that they put on the back of the rail cars, the last one, which monitors air pressure, and it sends a signal up to the engine where the conductor and the engineer are, so they can monitor if they're losing air pressure and whatnot. Monitors all kinds of stuff. It's a shame they did away with the cabooses because they were a neat part, but how times change and everything, and trying to cut labor force and stuff like that, and modernizing everything. Alright, so we followed the rail trail down from the caboose area, and apparently this is like a loop or something, but what I'm on right now is a spur that goes over through here for a little bit and dead ends and stuff. But I came down here and I saw something interesting. There's an area here called Fort Drescher, and I guess there was some kind of archaeological digs here and stuff like that, that they were checking for foundations of whatever was here at one time. So apparently this is some kind of historical site of Fort Drescher. I guess I'm pronouncing it, or Deschler, that's it, Fort Deschler. So I'll have to look at this online a little bit more and see if I can post anything in the comments section down there or at the bottom of the screen here and find out what this was about. All right, still continuing down the rail trail here. I'm still looking for an abandoned building that I'm seeing on Google Satellite and stuff. So I'm trying to find that, and looks like an old industrial building that I think was explored before, but I want to check that out, and I'm hoping I'm in the right area here. It's starting to look a little familiar from what I saw from some other videos. But there's some more information here on Fort Deschler. You can pause the video here, or I'll take a picture of it and include it in here. Alright, so I came down the trail, and I definitely know I'm getting into the right area because there's this old rail car down here that I guess maybe they're trying to restore or whatever. But I remember in Jay's videos, right down there in the corner, we're staying away from that. There is a bee's nest down there. I'm not quite sure what it is or whatever, but yeah, I'm not going there. Me and bees don't get along. But this is cool. It looks like they were trying to restore it at one time. I don't know if they're still working on it yet or not. This is pretty cool. Found some pictures here of not sure when they were taken, but there's some pictures of them working on the rail car here, and I'll try and include this and do like a now and then shot or whatever of the rail car here and the bridge in the background. All right, just to show you this in the video, this is the area where I'm standing at right now. So this was back then, and then this is what it looks like now. But I'll do the still shots here to give you the comparison. And then these other ones, this photo here would have been taken from the bridge on 145, which is behind us. This here is looking down this way. That's the building down there I want to check out. And then we got this spur here that goes off, is this one right here. So there were a bunch of rails here at one time and stuff. So we're going to check this area out. See what we can find interesting. All right, here's the industrial building that I want to check out. Of course, it's all overgrown now and stuff, but I want to see if there's a way of getting inside of it and stuff. But there's a little building across the rail trail here, and I don't know what it was used for, really, but it's pretty cool when you walk inside. There was some kind of pump here. And of course there's graffiti and stuff, so I'll try to keep that out of the video. But there was some kind of pump here. I don't know if there was a well here or they pumped water from somewhere through here, but it is definitely an old style pump, and the building has seen better days. Alright, so I came down a little bit further here and I found this information board here, which was done by a Boy Scout there as part of his Eagle Scout project back in 2014. It's got some clearer pictures here. So here's the shot of back then. There's another shot, some aerial shots of it. So somewhere along here there was also a factory from the looks of it, but I'm not quite sure where. But there was all kinds of industrial plants around here and stuff like that. And again, you can pause the video and stop if you want to read the caption on the pictures here, but I'll include a still shot of this. But the other thing I want to take a show you is this structure right back here. And if I remember correctly, I have to walk down here, but there's another information board down here. I think this might have been an old firehouse at one time. Not sure if it was a railroad firehouse or what. Well, there's another board down here. I'll have to walk down and check it out. Alright, so that's a firehouse there, and the information board that's over here gives the information on it. So that building that was there is actually, this area here is Egypt, and this whole area here that we're in with this park is called Egypt Yard. The structure that's back there is Egypt's first firehouse, first fire engine house. Pretty cool that they left it standing yet, but that's what that was. So we're going to walk over there, walk in there and look around inside the old firehouse. Alright, so I'm going to walk inside here and check this out. And of course there's going to be graffiti in there and stuff, which, you know, I don't care for, but 1891. Hopefully, maybe I can find some pictures online of this back in the day when it was in service and stuff, to see if I can do a comparison for you. Alright, so I came down a little bit from where the firehouse is, and just off the trail here they have a nice little rest area here that you can sit, or over there. But there's another structure behind me here, or the remains of a structure. I'm not quite sure, and again, this is a bad time of the year to be filming this because there's too many leaves on the trees and stuff, but there was definitely something here. Not quite sure if this was a house or what. There was something in there, and also up here. I don't know if this was like a well or something. But there was a pipe that goes back, and you can see there's There's another wall there. There's some more foundations up along here. So I'm not quite sure what this would have been used for right here. And just down from the firehouse here is the Copley Creek that the railroad crossed over at one time. They redid the bridge here and stuff. Apparently there's a bird watch area up there. I guess that's where that pavilion is. That's way up through there in the distance. So you can see part of the bridge here. Again, it's getting overgrown with the leaves on and stuff, but you can see here, you know, what was the railroad bridge and what they did now.
That goes down.
All right, so I'm up here taking some of these trails and looking around here, but looking down, where are we at here? I don't know if you can see them, but there's a wall over here and there's some openings right there. Not quite sure what those would have been used for, but there is a huge drop off here. So I don't know what kind of building this would have been at one time. I know there was an old cement factory here or something too. Well, this whole area up here had cement factories and stuff. I'm not sure if this would have been one of the old parts of the where the cement plant was behind me, but it was actually repurposed to for some kind of petroleum company has the grounds now and stuff like that. Again, I should have done this when there were no leaves on the tree, because it's hard to actually see the wall and stuff and the openings down there. All right, so we came across another information board in the woods here and stuff like that. So looking at this picture here, we already went out this way. This was where the firehouse was out here. We're currently up in this area right now. So this is one big cement company up here, and this is all which I'm going to show you here and again because I found them. These are all kilns up here and stuff. So the area that we're in is actually part of what was called the American Cement Company, which is a huge plant up here, or factory, however you want to call it and stuff, that had all kinds of kilns up here. Because I found more of them over here, and there's actually a path here that we can walk over and check out these kilns and stuff. So this other, where I showed you the shot before from above, looking down, here's more of them. These are all kilns, or what were the remains of kilns at one time. They had, I guess, rotary kilns here, and there were different kinds, and one I saw on the board was a rotary kiln. But all along over on this side too, there's one there, there's like one right in here, then there's one over in this area. So there's like 6 of them right in this area here. And if I go back down to the board here again, they had iron kilns, rock crushers, and I forget where I saw the rotary kilns and stuff like that, but really interesting. This was a good find looking for this up here. So here's a better shot for you. I found one where you can get up to it closer here, and you can see inside what the kiln looked like. All right, still following these winding trails around here and stuff, and we came across this building right here, and I'm not quite sure what it would have been used for at one time, but if it was part of the cement factory here, there's definitely a lot of junk down there in that. And looking through here, nature definitely reclaimed the area here and definitely took it back. But just the way the building's layered here with the stones and stuff and the cement in between is interesting. Alright, so down there's that other building that I wanted to check out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to right now because I did walk around to part of the backside and there's no way of really getting back there right now with everything growing and stuff like that. So I don't want to take a chance in coming into like a bee's nest back there or something like that. So that building, unfortunately, I'm not going to get to explore, but I did want to check the inside out because it was part of the railroad yard that was here and stuff. So we're going to start making our way back to my vehicle and finally wrap this video up. All right, so with that, we're just about back to where my vehicle is and stuff like that. So this video got a little bit lengthy and stuff, but there was so much interesting stuff we found along the way here of the Ironton Railroad. Like I said, if you're looking for a place to come and do some hiking or biking, I definitely recommend this trail and stuff. It is a gorgeous trail up here, and you can find lots of neat abandoned places and stuff. If you're looking for the abandoned buildings, it's best to do this in the fall or early spring before the leaves and everything turn green, that you can see the stuff better. So if you liked the video, please give it hit that thumbs up button down there. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel, and also that little bell that's there, you can hit that and be notified every time I upload a new video here to YouTube. So I'm hoping it wasn't too boring for you and it was informational. So again, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you soon.